This movie is based on the vintage 1977 Aaron Spelling TV show of the same name. Set somewhere in the South Pacific, the island is the site of a tourist resort where the enigmatic Mr. Rourke, played by Michael Pena, makes wishes come true. As in a folk tale, however, there's always a price. Brought to us by Blumhouse Productions, known for low-budget horror films including Paranormal Activity and Get Out, this fantasy island is significantly more macabre than the original. Like the TV show, the film cuts between subplots that follow visitors to the island through their customized experiences. Ingeniously, each plot evokes a different genre. There's glossy romance, war movie, torture porn a la Saw, and romantic comedy in the vein of The Hangover. The answer to this fantasy mystery is delayed as long as possible, but whatever logic is operating is of a plainly surreal kind. Sadly, this movie is one of the dullest horror movies of recent times. Beset by a cast of genuinely irritating characters and a woefully silly plot, this unfortunate misfire wastes its promising premise and serves up little more than 110 minutes of sheer boredom. As our group of unfortunate victims is put through very unpleasant experience, Fantasy Island expects its audience to care whether this vapid group of insipid characters actually lives or dies. Frankly, you will want to see most, if not all of them, die. There's nothing about these characters that elicit anything from an audience other than utter indifference. Every great horror movie needs at least one lovable character for a viewer to connect with, but there's just nothing here. The narrative itself is spinning into an idiotic finale that changes course so many times, it's rather difficult to keep up. It's as if the screenwriters could not determine which conclusion to go with, so they just went with all of them. Despite the obvious fact the fantasies are taking place over varying lengths of time, director Jeff Wadlow ultimately decides to blend them all into each other, throwing caution to all sense of logic and believability that only becomes more ridiculous when a whole bunch of supernatural nonsense is thrown into the mix. From zombies, black goo, doppelgangers, eerie spirits, you name it, it's all here and none of it makes any sense. At times, it seems Wadlow is attempting to toy with an audience by creating questions over whose fantasy we're actually experiencing and who truly is the ultimate puppet master of this insidious game. By the time the conclusion unveils the answers, you will likely have stopped caring, especially after this film barrels on for close to 2 uncomfortable hours for no logical reason. Sadly, there's little enjoyment to be found with this movie. It's as uninspiring as the horror genre gets. We warn you, if you watch this movie, you will not be entertained.